What I remember is being possibly around 2 or 3 years old. It could have happened earlier than that, I'm not sure, but we have a home video of my 3rd birthday. And I am running up to everybody, thanking them for being there and the presents. And my grandpa was actually the only person I did not want to go to. That right there tells me, yeah, something was going on. And one of my memories I have, maybe the earliest one, I was in my pink onesie zip up, maybe 2 or 3 years old. And we are in the garage, my grandparents' house. And he always had a chair there, the garage door wide open. And I was sitting on his lap and he made me touch him in broad daylight. I think that happened probably any time we slept over. He performed oral sex on me. And mind you, I am between the ages of 2 and 10 years old when all this is happening. He broke my trust with myself. And I felt that what I wanted was no longer safe. I was between the ages of 8 and 10, and we were spending the night. And I must have been really tired or something, but I told him I didn't want to be woken up in the middle of the night. I just wanted to sleep. And whether he did touch me or not, I didn't wake up. I remember being like, oh, this doesn't have to happen. I can say stop. But I was like, I'm gonna tell him I don't want to be touched anymore. And if you could picture, if you know an 8 to 10-year-old, how small they are. I was a little gangly thing. And a 50, 60-year-old man. My heart was in my throat. And I was like, we were in the basement and I told him I didn't want to be touched anymore. But I was like, no, I don't want this. I'm done. And he never touched me again. You know, when I first told him to stop, and he did, I was like, yes, I fixed it. I don't have to worry about this ever again in my life. And I really just thought I fixed the problem. I was feeling good. I was a happy kid. My parents, my immediate family is wonderful. My parents are loving and safe. And so I just thought the problem was over. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I held on to it until I was 14 years old. And I was like, I have to tell my parents. I just know I have to. I wrote a letter and I didn't say who abused me on it. I told him that he did apologize. I wasn't ready to tell them who it was. And I left the letter on my bed, and it was in the morning going to school, and my mom was there, and I was like, I have a letter for you, read it, and then I ran out the door. And I ran to that school bus, and I wanted to get as far away from her and that letter as possible. My mom, after she read it, actually knew immediately who had abused me. She's like, it's my dad. I know it's my dad. I don't know why I know this, but it's him. From there, we later on learned that my mom was abused by him. She repressed all her memories until I came out. Then she was struggling, yeah. And so we all kind of fell apart for a little while. But I am so grateful we did. It was great that we found this place because not everyone knows how to deal with sexual abuse in therapy. And as a child, how to talk about it. When I was 14 or 15, probably. Seeing Marion, and she was wonderful, even though I hated coming to therapy so much. I did not want to believe her when she was like, this takes a while, it's gonna come in waves. And I was like, watch me. I'm gonna heal so fast and be done with this. And I'm very stubborn in that way. I need to find a fix for things and control things. And so I thought I was doing good. I came to therapy. It was really hard to talk about it. Some days I would leave and I would be heavy for about a week. I worked through a lot, and so I would stop therapy. And I would try to live my kid life, and then a wave would hit again. New memories would surface, and I would be so mad. It's like, why? Why do I have to deal with this again? Once I learned to let it come in its waves, I did a lot better in therapy. Unfortunately, it didn't just affect me, it affected everybody in the family. And they had to come and deal with that in their own way. So therapy helped keep our immediate family together and helped everyone work through their issues, which was great because we wouldn't be here today without Child Safe. I was so numb. That's what it did to me. It made me numb. I didn't feel pain, which in turn means you don't feel happiness either. I would laugh and just be empty inside. I was like, this is weird. I've always been pretty positive throughout this whole journey, even as a kid when I was really depressed. I just didn't want him to win. That was my goal. I was like, you will not win. And that pushed me through. And as I've grown and seen the changes and seen the healing, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be fine. And I just know that I need therapy every once in a while when life changes and different things happen and new triggers come up. He will never win. I'm living my life the best that I can. And I found, you know what Child Safe really helped me find was my voice and how much I feel empowered to share my story to help others know that they're not alone. Like, that has been really huge for me. And we need to talk about this to stop it and give a voice to the voiceless. And that's what Child Safe has done for me.